experience in this technological setup. We are not yet there for the full professional setup, but we have to gear up towards that. I was really impressed by Sitaram Prabhu's presentation skills. I mean, even with from his phone, you could change your slides. It was really awesome to see. Oh, that was Kapila, right? I could see he was his hand in there. But from his phone, he could just, while he's tracking with our remote, he just hear very nicely. Oh, that's interesting, right. Very nice. We got the volume worked out?
No.
Yes? No?
Yes.
One says yes, one says no.
Interlibrary
A little louder?
has relied upon the support of the low-hanging fruit, the traditional Indian congregation. When you consider the wider population, though, appreciation of cow protection. For our traditional Indian congregation, cow protection is, of course, quite familiar. And certainly, Itanagari has relied upon the support of the low-hanging fruit, the traditional Indian congregation. When you consider the wider population, though, appreciation of cow protection can be a bit difficult. Cow protection to the non-Indian audience seems exotic, very dreamy. What I've noticed at Itanagari is that when students from universities, yoga clubs, and all kinds of young and old persons come, for the first time, they're face to face with animals, especially cows. And I was shocked to see the transformative effect. At first I thought maybe they were being a little sentimental, but being around cows has such a renovating consequence for these people. I was just reading in the media how in Europe some people are paying money to have a chance to hug a cow because they become so surcharged with peacefulness and they lose their anxiety, stress, at least for the moment. Srila Prabhupada gave the formula for Gitanakri. He said, it should demonstrate how human beings, animals, and the Supreme Ishvar can all cooperate together. Cow protection plays an extraordinary part of the harmony of nature, but people have to see it. So again, I was shocked that students from MIT, University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School of Finance, all these elitist institutions, come and have their hearts melted just by seeing so many cows and being affected by the atmosphere the cows create. In other words, seeing is believing, experience is believing. Face to face with cows, so many visitors say that, how can I go on living the same way? Living a life based on animals. I never thought about it before. A huge theme in the wider world is becoming re-enchanted by nature. No longer should we consider nature just to be the air that comes out of our air conditioner or heat pump, the water that comes out of our faucet. Waste that goes down the drain or put out in the trash bin. It's collected by the sanitation department. The idea becoming so popular in the USA is that we should become entranced by nature again, see nature as divine. Certainly, cow protection plays an enormous part for that re-enchantment by nature. And there's no doubt that cow protection is a major part of Srila Prabhupada's strategy. There are only 3 things he said. Correction. There are only 2 things he said 3 times what we should do. Distribute books, distribute books, distribute books. And farm, farm, farm. Finally, I'd like to point out an amazing fact that many of us have forgotten. Gita Nagari was originally the New York Temple's farm. I helped raise funds for it by distributing books back in the early 70s. The New York Temple purchased a farm because Srila Prabhupada was very boldly proclaiming his urban farm connection strategy. Our farms can exist on their own, cut off from the city. The resources, the manpower, woman power, preaching tie-ups are all in the cities. So therefore, it's essential that our cow protection efforts have an urban link. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I think he encapsulated very well what could be the trend for a global summit. How cow protection is an essential part in re-enchanting man to nature. And understanding that biological, ecological, spiritual relation, and even economical, we could say, we could actually thrive. Prabhupada has said that a few times. If you simply protect the cows, all your economical problems will be solved. Heard that again and again. It's time to show that a bit more, to study a bit more, reach out those groups, have some kind of more traction of this idea. And so I thought his direction is a very nice vision to look at for us, for ISKCON. How do we interface with ecology, with spirituality and ecology? I think he gave being re-enchanted by nature. So I just wanted to do as a keynote speech for what I think could be a direction for our, one of the directions for our summit. Good. Can we make that big? It's going to be quite, you can put it from the beginning. That's the last slide. You can just go up, yes, and play. No, you have to click on it. That's the last one, I think. Have to click on the first. Click. Yes, now play. Good. Yes. The turning point. Here we are, at the turning point of history. Facing challenges, finding solutions, Scotland, September 2018. So, we have named this conference The Turning Point because that's the theme which we have adopted for 2018-2019. Every 2 years, the ministry is choosing a theme to work on. It's not that the theme of this 2-year period rule out the previous themes. It builds up as I'm going to show you. Okay, next. It's going to be quite fast. Prabhupada wanted to show us, to show him by example. We know that. Go ahead. So, what is the relevance of our work? Is there any relevance in what we're doing? Let's see that. Next one. There's a little video clip, the second one. Can you play that? And I'm going to show you what happened in Brazil. I've shown this in America in a few places. In simply 5 days, the 8th economy of the world. Just see what happened. And Prabhupada in the 60s was announcing what could have happened. So just let's have a look at it. Is that video? Yes. Make it big first. Make it big. There at the top, at the green dot at the top. Yes. Now play. See if the volume is okay.
To become.
Yes.
People are trying that we shall be happy by becoming materially advanced. That is called durasaya. That is hope against hope. Nothing vidusarthagating in this one. They do not know that destination of life is to attain Krishna consciousness. No, they do not. They think by increasing motor cars we shall be happy. This is karma. That will not help. This motor car civilization will be finished within another 100 years.
Just see what happens in Brazil in a few days. Trucks stopped on a strike. 2 million trucks. Fresh produce was highly affected. And Mayo suffered. Restaurants slowed down. Many construction work stopped. Then the patrol stopped for us. It was produced rot in the fields, no patrol to take it out. And then the flights got cancelled. By the fifth day, there was a real wake-up call. But because people are not so tuned in, they couldn't catch it. But we were uncertain if we'll have food, because without petrol, where do you get your food from? The truck drivers, with one strike, stopped the whole country, just by blocking the fuel supply from the port outside. They just stopped the trucks. That's all it took. So from various angles, we are seeing how the system is fragile, but somehow our faith in the system is very strong because it's been working. But we just don't pay attention how fragile it is. And that's the relevance of what we're doing. It's an extremely relevant part of our mission, to show that we can go on as a lazy farmer. And if we prove lazy farming, that's a huge in the world. Hare Krishna lazy farming. You can just see all the books coming out. The new guru. Jaramana Hari, the guru of lazy farming.
Very well.
So let's go back to our PowerPoint. You go to the top. Yes. Yes, good. PowerPoint should be at the back, right at the end. There is a network.
Keynote.
Right around here you find on this side, there is Scotland, this side. Yes, somewhere there you find Scotland. No, more this side. Europe, no. No, no.
If he opens Keynote, then it's going to...
Yes, network Scotland, that's the one. Click on it. Yes. Let's go back to it. Wait. Next, please. Challenges. We have many challenges. Do we have challenges?
Yeah.
We have some, right? Let's have a look at them quickly. Okay? It's going to be a fast slideshow. I need support back there. Yes, look at that. Industrial farming. It's right there. How do you get out of it? Next. You see, it's a war. Basically, farming today is a war. So Jaramana Hari could win a Nobel Prize. Peace Nobel Prize. Next one. The whole system has become industrialized. Your seeds, your food, your distribution system, everything is super, super industrialized. So that's a hard challenge for us to face. Next one. And this is a big challenge. Most of our people are not sitting on the farms. Where are they sitting? and you have to be relevant to them. Next one. So now here's the question, how to make the transition. Have you thought about that? How to make the transition? We had a few ideas here, how eco-villages, seed banking, community farming, networking, having a mission. Okay, next one. So that really requires us to be very clear. What are our values? What is our mission? And what is our vision? Okay, next one. The mandate for this ministry, which is here trying to assist you to do that, reads, the GBC Ministry for Cow Protection and Agriculture advises and assists, that's what we do, ISKCON leaders, you, offering education on protected cow-centered agriculture. We're trying to phrase that. Protected cow-centered agriculture. That's the terminology we're trying to implement. For a simpler, more natural way of living according to Srila Prabhupada's teaching, standards and example. So that's the mandate we are working on and trying to socialize with our networks and see if we have an echo for that. Does that sound okay? Does it sound precise? If there's additions, you're welcome to write to us. Next one. So what's the purpose of us doing this? Right? There's a purpose. Next. Well, in the beginning we all thought Shangri-La, going to the farm, all these beautiful places, New Vrindavan, but we found something a little different over time. Okay, next one. So the ministry, to try to address those, kind of design a structure. Because mind you, when we joined, there's very little structure except from a law, a minimal law, 507. So the structure we are trying to do is basically twofold. One is the networking aspect. We got your idea of the Continental Conference and we expanded it. So to do that, we need some organization teams to kind of support the conference to run. And then the two aspects is education and network. That's what outside of society. And then we have programs. For example, we have cow protection agriculture. And under cow protection, we have some programs coming up. One of them is called Certificate of Readiness, which we'll explain very soon. And in that Certificate of Readiness, you will be able to, for example, assess and do the exercise you did in a much more deeper way. So that's one of the programs. And for agriculture, we want to turn the farms into teaching centers. We had a farm managers meeting yesterday night, exciting meeting, and New Vrindavan has some ideas, New Govardhan has some ideas what could be done, and we could teach from Bhaktivedanta Manor. Pradeep here had a list of courses he's ready to teach tomorrow, very exciting list. So we're going to try to brand these courses of ISKCON into one brand, so that people recognize, yes, they're teaching all of this. Is that okay? Is that a good idea?
Yeah.
Yes? Shall we go for it?
Yeah.
Good. Whoa. Next one. Next, we lost our support team. Okay, so these are the regions we have started. You, of course, started here in 2008. And then 2016, we expanded to North America, South America. And there's hopes that next year, 2019, we do reach Russia, or like here, Siberia, and Australia. And then maybe 2020, we reach Asia. So there is a growing network in this organized network. Network we have a lot. ISKCON is very networked. But we need to kind of tune in, formalize it a little better. Okay, next one. These were the themes that we have adopted. The first theme for 2015, it was called networking. We needed to network ourselves, get together. Then last year, 2017, we shifted back to the basics. Because we thought we really need to understand what are basics. What are we about? What are our values as Hare Krishna devotees concerning farming, soil? I had here a high request for soil teaching. We highly subscribe under that. What is our vision for cow protection? Devamrita Swami here presents a beautiful view. And so and so and so on. So we do need to have a place where we manifest to the society what is our vision, so that they can understand what we are processing on a day-to-day basis, and update ourselves to what's happening around us. And of course then, for the next 2 years, I called boldly the turning point. And this started in a conversation we had at the GBC forum. Praghosh Prabhu was present in this discussion of more than 70 threads about vegans and what we do about them. It's time to get up and do something. And Praghosh Prabhu actually wrote a manifesto for the vegans that he would like to project and read for us. Very soon, we'll have another session here where we'll talk to you and you can ask questions about this. Okay, next slide. Then again, right now, we're trying to create our networks. Okay, wherever there's a conference, there should be a network, and an organized network. So at this point in time, I had long discussion with Smita Krishna Maharaj, who is your local continental representative, and Shamashundra Prabhu, who has been very involved and is like the backbone to all this network that you're doing. How could we better organize the mother network in Europe? And he came up with we came up with some regions we discussed, and we'd like to present. Raghunath, there's a little picture from Shamashundra. Do you think we could, Prabhu, you would like to come? Right. Yes, yourself. Your highly self. So we're going to project. So we stand together. You have it there? That one, that one. Close, yes. Okay, there you are.
One of the issues about having the ministry be able to reach out to more people. Can you make it bigger, Raghunath?
Yes, you can make it bigger.
So we were talking, and Kalakantha was suggesting about subdividing Europe into many areas that we probably have better supervised. Some years ago, when I was going around the farms, I found that just having a representative of the ministry going around itself kind of had an energizing effect. And particularly one of the issues that was coming up, the farmer didn't feel that they were appreciated for what they were doing. So having someone go around and talking to them, you're a farmer, we like farming, that was very powerful. So we haven't quite formulated the service description for the representative, but the principle is that we'll kind of subdivide Europe into certain areas, hopefully kind of making some geographical sense and even cultural sense, and then having a representative of the ministry who could assist the European minister in his service of supervision, going around talking to the farmers and keeping them stimulated. So you can see here we've kind of got the west region, we've got naturally the west side, Spain, France, Belgium, Holland, Luxembourg. We've got obviously countries down there that don't necessarily have a farm yet, but you can see the range of the agriculture is very vast. For example, we saw what Jala Malahari's done. Anyone with a project of anything, with any kind of size garden can grow vegetables. Every dairy department in the whole of Europe can be self-sufficient on flowers if they have their congregation growing something at certain times, or they can be very brave and adopt what they do here at Bhavan and have dry flowers. So every day, and first I went to Spain, I thought, my God, they've got little green leaves amongst their flowers. So if you don't mind putting foliage into your garden, you can be self-sufficient all year round. So in other words, the scope of agricultural input into our European society is as vast as we want to make it. So anyway, so link some countries there. In the north we've got the United Kingdom.
Before we go on, West. Do we all agree with the West? Having additions to the West? If you think it's a good division for the West of Europe, please raise your hand.
Can you go back to the west?
The West.
Go down a bit. You've got back to the west.
Okay. So we have Spain, France, Belgium, Holland, Luxembourg.
Forgot Portugal.
Portugal is there. Should be there. We'll add Portugal, but do you agree with that, Tony? If you do, hands up. If you don't, you have a chance to do it. So just get a sense of the audience. Do you think it's a good division for the West or no? Yes or no? Yes. I don't see hands. I don't see hands.
I don't get the question.
The question is, we're dividing areas. So for the West Europe, we put Portugal, Spain, France, Belgium, Holland, Luxembourg. Is that a good way to divide it? If yes, hands up. If no, tell us what we could include more.
I agree.
I agree, so we're ready for the vote. Anybody who have a suggestion there? Jara Marahani.
I'm not, from my point of view, of course, we are not that many bodies, but Spain and Portugal itself is like a cell, and France, Belgium, Holland, and Luxembourg together is like another. They are speaking French, all of them, more or less. They are like more connected. And Spain and Portugal is like the south of Pyrenees. We used to say is Africa, you know. So it's like there's not that much connection between us and.
Italy.
Italy maybe.
Italy, Portugal.
Well, just to mention, and it may help the discussion, but you know, the European RGB have already divided Europe into regions, and basically there's a northwest region, which is UK, Ireland, and Scandinavia. Then there is, anyway, off the top of my head, I'm struggling now, but they've broken it up and put them into France is with Spain and Portugal, and then Italy is with the Balkans and Greece and that whole area, and then you have a central area which is Germany and Switzerland and Austria, that area, and then you have an eastern section. That's it in a nutshell. But just if you want, I could send you that, Shannon, and you can see it, and you can see whether it kind of makes sense. Because we actually put a lot of time into it. We spent many hours on it, figuring it out as best as we possibly could in a geographical context, and a language context, and a population context, and all different criteria like that. And that's what we came up with. So I can share it with you if you want.
This is the benefit of having the grassroots and the top and the canopy of the tree at the same place. So I think it's a beautiful idea. What do you think of it? Is that we just follow the RGB division for Europe? Yes? Who would agree with that? Hands up. There we go. We sorted it.
There was also another consideration we had to consider. We had kind of certain kind of names were thought of who could be preliminary representatives. So it's kind of a practical issue about something contiguous to where they were based. And actually, when you see the chart we have, and then when the names start getting mentioned, then you'll see it makes a kind of certain sense. Okay, yeah, we can adjust many things. And there's also, you'll see, we put things in here that actually are kind of beyond the European range for kind of helping with the project sense.
Okay. So very good. So the idea is to start developing our networks continentally, regionally, and then in the country. So like Jen has their network, we already have in ISKCON these networks. We just have to connect to them. That's all we have to do. Instead of reinventing the whole wheel, we have the network, we just connect to them. And that's our strength. And that's what an institution of the size of Jen is looking at us with such an interest. And we are amazed, because we think ourselves as a small, farmy network. But they're looking at ISKCON. And ISKCON is really a big network around the globe. So we just have to tune in a bit more of that. Are you happy with that? Yeah? Okay, good, very good. So the concept is introduced. Let's close that. Let's close that slide. Myers, they're directly from Soho. Temple, give me a support. Yes, the red one closes. And let's go back to the PowerPoint presentation, which is right at the bottom, written Network in Scotland 2011. You can put play. Play at the top, next to keynote. Okay, play. Okay, the globe has moved, and if no problem, this light is gone. Next one, next slide. Okay, now here is the kind of program we're doing, okay, in ISKCON, for cow protection. We started with certificate of readiness. You're already aware of that, for the deity worship ministry has something. If you want to install deities in your yatra, there's a certain procedure that you need to attend to. So we're developing for ISKCON a certificate of readiness for cow protection. If you want to be an ISKCON official cow protection program, we're going to propose for the GBC, but the general sense of the GBC, they really want this. So we are hoping that it will be well accepted, and it's already practiced. For example, Ukraine, they already have their own certificate of readiness in place. They're centralizing. ISKCON is also doing that. So it's already a general sense. Why is that? Because all the cows of Pragosh Prabhu's area is his responsibility directly. In our hierarchy, he is the accountable person for all the cows. Now look at his face. So we want to help him, to say yes, and we really want to push this. How? Doing three things. We approve the certificate of readiness, and we develop this network to give the support, information, education, everything that you need to know to be really on board. And then also, when you run out of people, who needs a Goshala person by any chance? Anybody needs one? You see, that's a huge demand. There's a huge demand, but there's no offer. Just like Sitaram Prabhu has so many members wanting ahimsa milk, but there's no offer. We also have a huge demand for cow protectors, but there's little offer. So we need to look at the market and see what's missing. Something's missing in our process of training, providing cow herds, so that we have a high demand to supply our market of existing farms, not talking future projects. So this is something which needs education. Then, of course, once you get in the system, how do you keep the standards? We need to certify you. So we are developing an app which from the farm, the Goshala person can feed in the cows, the disease records, everything, and you can visualize. So Pragosh Prabhu will be able to see what's happened in the manor. So, very good. They did their vaccinations, they did their procedures. Not only him, but your cow donor would also be able to see, oh, my cow is being treated well. Fantastic. That's another idea. And finally, this certification system through the app also allows you to have consultancy. So let's say you have a problem, and the app will list consultants there in the network, and will offer them to you through the network. So you're registered in the network, you're in for that network. So through WhatsApp, Viber, whatever information system, you can send a photo of the cow, the person in another part of the world can give you a diagnosis very quickly, without having to travel, to transport, you know. We have a strong network, we need to believe that. But we don't know who we have, where they are, how to access them, how much does it cost. So these are the things we need to put on the board to make our consultancy coming through our certification system real. And finally, I think Kapila Prabhu was saying that this is where his huge challenge lies, the Gosadhan. It's the biggest challenge. Dry cows, bulls, becomes a burden. So what we're introducing is, you don't just ask donation for your Goshala. You ask donation for specific parts of your Goshala. The part, let's say we are working members of society, and I say, no, I need donation for my working members. They say, what's wrong with your working members? But I get old, I need assistance. Okay, this member has got old, can I give him some support? Sure. So support for the retired cows, that's something important. And also, let's say we are unemployed guys. So if I say, look, I have a population of unemployed people, can you help us? Yes, of course, the government gives you money. Likewise, the bulls have been highly unemployed by the tractors, machinery, and whatever. So we need to assist them a little bit and provide workspace. So the Gosadhan plus, not here, the Nandishala, which gravitates, the place for the bulls, are the two mechanisms which we want to start to introduce in ISKCON. You certify, you get ready, you certify, and then you have a backup. And for the GBC, the idea is that we would make a national project like an emergency place. If some place goes wrong, like we have here the visit of Prahlad is it? It's here with us. Say, look, it's hard for us. The GBC would have access to this place and say, look, I need help. I need to transfer some cows and bulls to this special place. So it's a security device which we would like to offer the GBC body to become more enthusiastic to say yes to cow protection. So that's what we're talking about, programs for Krishna dairy. And on top of that, we need to find what's our international branding. What's our international branding for this? Are we Ahimsa? Are we Krishnadarians? Are we slaughter-free? What's our branding internationally? Because once you have an international brand like Ram Baba, he's big. He's got huge heaps of customers because it's one brand. You can certify, you can see it, you can visualize what you're saying. So you come here, if you're certified, wow, the same standards and honor. Congratulations, cow protection, keep going. Yeah? So that's what we're doing. And to achieve that, we have done a memorandum of understanding with 3 projects. New Vrindavan, New Vrajadam, and Ambik's Guard. We've done a memorandum of understanding with these 3 projects to establish those standard operational procedures and education. So from those standards, then we invite all the other projects to join our certification system. That's what we're doing at the moment, right, in the ministry. Next slide. So registration and membership is the app. The person who's developing this is in India. He's Sakshi Gopal, doing as a service to us. And basically, we're going to network all the ISKCON cows and bulls in that app, gradually starting from these 3 projects we said. The farms, all the members, the first members are the cows, and then the cow herds and everything, which is connected to that farm. Then our friends, our people who are helping us in some way, and the administrators. So the administrator can have access, so it's an asset we're trying to develop for the Goshalas. So you can actually follow up what's happening. Next slide. Fundraising. We have started in North America as a trial, the Cow Lovers Club. Do you love the cows?
Yeah.
So you should become a member of the Cow Lovers Club. If you love cows, Cow Lovers Club. It's an institution which is being opened by the ministry to actually generate funds to do all of this you're looking at, education, networking, consultancy. We need to start. So we're still in the very preliminary stage of this. We're actually understanding with the North American GBC how this is a viable option. We're discussing with the UK leadership how we can do this here. And then that leads to consultancy, which is what we need. We need people who really know how to make money out of this. We need to know people who can manage it very efficiently, and then we can expand. That's it. In a nutshell, Ajita gave a beautiful class, and we are working for it. Next slide. Next slide. Myers. So for 2018-2019, we chose a theme. And before I introduce the theme, I'd like to invite Pragosh Prabhu to come here. And we'll have 2 things. One is we're going to introduce the importance of having a global summit, and we're thinking the ILS could be a venue. So he is a GBC member. He has participated in the discussion once. Some questions that you like to ask on a GBC level, we'll sit here for a few minutes. Are you ready, my beloved GBC member and authority?
I'm not sure I am.
Would you like to say?